It's Friday. Feels so good today. What up, and everybody? Welcome to Weekday Wagers, where if you're not watching the show, you're already behind on a glorious Friday. It's feeling good outside. I even got the long sleeve on, and I've been up all morning walking the dog. The dog still doesn't like me, but as you all know, we're trying. We're putting in the work, trying to get the dog to like me. We don't 2 walks this morning at 5:30 a.m. This is stupid what I'm doing, but I'm trying to be friends with this dog. But I am on the eve of vacation, and so I'm jacked up, ready to go and get this thing going. But today on the show, as always, we will give you our picks. Today on Friday is a special day. We give you our 12 pack of plays, but we start the show off breaking down 3 different college football games. And we do that in the split decision style where we have 2 sides, 2 guys, but we're going to have one winner, and they can only choose one side each. And so they'll break down those matchups within those 3 games. And then we're going to get to our picks as always. And then it's breaking down more of the NFL games we're looking at, we're loving, and we're going to be watching over the weekend. And then from there, we're going to keep turning this thing up as we give you our saloon shot. And I finally got in. So there's no celebration day today because we're going to look forward and we're going to try to see if we can get in again this weekend. And then the last thing we do is the NFL Overdrive. Make sure you scan the QR code when you see it on the screen. If not, check out my Twitter. It's at Daniel Greer. You can check it out there and scan the QR code there. What we do is 10 NFL questions. It's either over, under, or you got to pick the teams or maybe the total. And we're all competing against each other. But you have to beat all 3 of us. If you tie against us, you don't win. So you got to beat us. And if you can beat us, we'll give you $100 and a 6-month membership to Justice Stat Sports. All of that jam-packed into this show. Let's take a look back at how we did yesterday. And I lost my moneyline parlay. I listened to Raphael. Louisiana Tech, they sucked against Kennesaw State. Completely bozo game. I lost that one, but a little catch and run. Some scataboo, Devontae Smith, cash for our guy, Robbie. Speaking of Robbie, let's go ahead and get to the show and bring in the guys. Robbie, it's a Friday. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good now. I woke up this morning. It was like 40 degrees, so I froze my balls off going onto the truck to put the soccer equipment up. So I've been fired up or kind of cooled off since then. But yeah, it's Friday. I'm happy.
Feeling good, feeling good. Marky Model, what up, man?
Listen, 40 degrees and he's freezing.
It is.
Welcome to our summer. Man up. Let's go.
Shut up.
That's shorts weather up here.
All right. Well, I'm coming off of a defeat last night. We're 0-1. My Anaheim Ducks. I stayed up to approximately the middle of the second period, and we were tied 1-1. I felt good. I went to sleep, woke up, and we lost 3-1. Very close game, but nonetheless, we're not going undefeated this year, but we do have a chance to win, and it's this weekend. So the Anaheim Ducks are going to quack. Game 2, we're winning it. You can mark that down. Do we have the odds or the model play or any kind of the numbers on that game just yet, Mark?
For tomorrow?
Yes, when they play.
Hold on 1 second. I'll get it for you right now.
Here we go. If it doesn't say they're winning, you need to redo the stats.
Yeah, they're favored to win. They're minus 125.
I knew it.
55.3% chance in all the sims.
Who are they playing?
San Jose.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it's San Jose. Okay.
Yes, it's the Sisters of the Poor.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you got to beat the Sisters of the Poor. All right. Well, let's get this show going, and we're going to get off to a hot start as always. We're going to do this in a little thing that we call split decision, and this will be the 3 biggest college football games that we have right now. And so the first thing that we're doing is Ohio State. They're favored by 14 points. It is kind of trending up to the 14.5, but we're going to say 14 right now, and they're at Illinois. So, Robbie, you won last week. Do we need to flip the coin to see who goes first? Or are you calling it your shot right now? You're going first, or you're making Mark go first?
I'm going to let him go first.
Yeah, I want to go first.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start this thing off. And if you want to play along in the chat, we would appreciate it. We also need you to tell us who wins this thing. So let's go ahead and get it started. Robbie, you're going to lead us off. Ohio State minus 14 going to Illinois. Who you got?
Yeah, give me Ohio State. Look, this is the battle of the Illabuck Trophy, if any of y'all are unaware. I'm not sure why the spread is 14. Ohio State should win, and they should win big. They have better talent on their team. Their defense is one of the best in the country. They played a good Washington team, only allowed them to score 6 points. Illinois got beat 63-10 not too long ago to Indiana. Sorry, no disrespect to Indiana, but Ohio State is a way better team than them. Illinois hasn't beaten Ohio State since 2007. It's not going to change tomorrow. The Buckeyes roll.
Hold on. First of all, I don't even know that that's a real trophy that you just said. No, what the hell was that? Second of all, this is a great spot for a ranked Illinois team to sneak up on an Ohio State team that is already looking ahead for their matchup against Wisconsin, a rivalry that is deep. This is a great look-ahead spot. I love Illinois, plus the points. They cover. They don't win this, but they do cover, especially late in the fourth quarter when Ohio State has been laxing all game long.
Nobody looks ahead to Wisconsin.
Nobody. RJ agrees with you, though, Mark. Illinois covers but loses. But I do, just as Kimberly just put this up here, what are we doing with the S? Like, there's not multiple Illinois.
Illinois is.
Yeah, like, just how many S's? Just like we're going to put on the end of Illinois.
I'm sorry.
Anyway. I'm just saying it's wrong. I just want to correct you. I wanted to disqualify you for that. And you could have stopped right at your time, but you decided to go 3 seconds over. That's another disqualification potential. We're going to not do that.
Take the S out of it. That's stupid.
I'm just saying.
Take the S out of it. That should be a good slogan for us.
All right, let's go to this next one.
That's a T-shirt.
All right, let's go to this next one. And Mark, you're leading us off. We're going to go Alabama -3 going to the big time school, Missouri.
That's right. Look, this is easy. Missouri is a sneaky good team, especially this year. Yes, I know that they've never beaten Alabama. I get that. They have also always been double-digit underdogs to the Tide. I love this spot at 3.5. I love this. I think that Missouri, they have a quarterback who is absolutely a dual threat. He can run the ball, pass the ball. Vegas knows that this Missouri Tigers team is good. And for my brother and father, go Tigs.
All right. Yeah, Minnesota, like you said, Missouri's finally going to play a good team. Bama's already in postseason mode because they dropped week 1 to Florida State. Ty Simpson in that passing attack with Ryan Williams is going to throw all over Missouri's defense. I do think it's going to be close in the first half, but I think Alabama's too talented. Missouri's going to press. They're going to make stupid decisions. And Alabama's going to cover, and they're going to win probably by 6.5 to 7, not just 3.5. Time of possession, Bama ranks first or second in the SEC and 11th in the nation. They're going to control the clock, and they're going to win this game by more than 3.5.
You went over.
All right.
Oh, God.
Well,
there's a first time for everything.
That is the first time because I don't think you've ever went over your time. RJ likes Missouri. Scott with a Y likes the Alabama Roll Tide. We'll see. All right. Let's go this next game. And Scott's already calling Robbie as a winner just after 2.
Yeah,
so
whoa,
let's go ahead and go to the
pump
3.
the brakes there, Scotty Y.
Let's just go to the third one just in case. And looky here. This is a top 25 matchup. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a top 10 matchup here with the Indiana Hoosiers going into Oregon. 7.5 point favorite right here for Oregon. All right, Robbie, we're going back to you to start this one off. Indiana at Oregon, -7.5. Who you got?
Give me Oregon. Look, Indiana tried this last season. They went to Ohio State, got spanked. They went to Notre Dame, got spanked. And now they're going to face a cracked out Dan Lanning and the Crazy Ducks. Look, Oregon's going to roll all over them. Indiana has had their chances last year. They're not going to get any further this year. This might be the only game Indiana loses, but it's going to be bad enough where the playoff committee says, no, we're not letting you in again. They haven't played anyone that I care about talking about, and they will get their ass kicked by the Ducks. Oregon at home kills Indiana. I still had 2 seconds left.
Look, but God, it can only take so much of that crap. Look, Oregon played a Penn State team, the most talented team on their schedule as yet. This Indiana team is not that different from Penn State. And, by the way, Penn State did not cover. Oregon ended up beating them. but it was a close game all the way throughout. I think Indiana sneaks up on this Oregon team who is riding high still off of Penn State game where they already should have won.
Nah.
All right.
I'm telling you. That game, that is going to actually be an official play for me. Oregon's going to beat the brakes off Indiana, and Ohio State's going to beat the brakes off Illinois.
The hook scares me in that, though. That's the one thing that scares me in this game. It's the hook.
Kind of, man. But I just honestly, I don't think Indiana's going to have the talent to stick with them. I think their quarterback, Mendoza? He's a badass. He's good, but I just don't think they have the weapons to keep up with Oregon.
All right, we'll see this weekend for sure. As I think Oregon does win the game, I think it will be tighter than some give credit to Indiana here and keeping it close enough. That's all it comes down to. It's just being close enough. So we'll see how this game rolls out. Go ahead and let us know who you think wins this one. But it's time to get to our 12 pack of plays. And as always, it's sponsored by Bass's Blends.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's gonna turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
Well, thank you all for watching here on our Weekday Wagers YouTube page. If you want to scan the QR code for our NFL Overdrive, that's going to be doing at the end of the show. You can do it. You don't have to do it now, but you can do it a little bit later. Sometimes it's tricky to scan these QR codes, but if you're a learner, Robbie, ROBBY, HOCKEY 5123 on Twitter. Reach out to him. He'll be explain everything and how to work the QR.
He'll walk you right through the process. It's simple.
QR codes are stupid.
All right. Well, I did something different, Bell, because guess what? We're on our own YouTube page. And so I put up a little poll. I said, who won split decision, Robbie or Mark? You can check it out on YouTube. If you're watching on over there on Twitter under Better Days Ahead, come over to YouTube. It's at Weekday Wagers, and you can go ahead and find us there. You can chat along with everybody else that's already here, and you can go ahead and let us know who you think wins. And so we're going to go through our picks at the end of that. Before we get into the NFL, we'll see who you all voted for. But let's go ahead and start this thing off right. We got one play on Friday, and Mark Model, that's you. What you going today?
We're going to do a little diamond and nice. Let's start with the nice part before we get to the diamond. The Las Vegas Aces, Phoenix Mercury, Game 4. This is a closeout series. The Aces are up 3-0. They have this has been one of the most offensive WNBA finals in WNBA history. And I don't mean offensive in the sense that it's off-putting. I mean offensive in the amount of scoring that's taking place. Both teams to score over 74.5. This has hit in every single one of the games and in 6 of the last 8 Vegas games. Love this spot. And then we have 2 dynamic pitchers on the mound today. Look, Detroit, Seattle, Game 5, winner take all. This is it. There is no tomorrow. Tarek Skubal is on the mound for the Tigers. I love this spot simply because both offenses, Detroit and Seattle's offense, are hitting below 179 in the first inning. They're cold offensively. 2 great arms. The NRFI on its own is minus 180, which is heavily juiced. You put both these plays together, you get a nice plus 129 bankroll builder. And yeah, it's pulsing like that because that NRFI is going to be a sweat.
Wow. So you're already calling your own bet a sweat. Some would say
I did it for theatrics.
Bet sweats. All right. Let's keep this thing rolling into a Saturday game. And I'm going to start us off, but it looks like we all have a play for college football. Why not go ahead and get this thing started? This is the local team. Kind of both of them are local. We're going to go Arkansas against Tennessee. in Arkansas. The Fighting Petrinos now are going to go up to Tennessee, and then they're going to be in for it on this one. But I'm going to target the first half only. It's going to go over the 34.5 points. It's at -108. When you look at these two teams, they're really good offensively. Arkansas has struggled the last couple of weeks, but now they have Petrino. His teams aren't known to be really good at defensively, but both teams are the top 3 in first half scoring. They know what to do. They know what to get. They get the ball going down the field much better than they can in the second half. Because of that, I like the Fighting Petrinos going into Tennessee. Combine these two to go over 34.5. Let's go to Mark here.
We just got done talking about it. I am taking Mizzou. That's who. The Tigers plus 3.5 at -120. Like I said in that split decision that I won. So thank you for all those who voted for me. Missouri has never been less than a double-digit underdog to Alabama. And I think that the fact that we're getting 3.5 points here tells us all that we need to know. Bama just ended up, they're coming off the high. They just beat Georgia in Georgia. They just took care of Vanderbilt. That's why I think that this line is overinflated. I actually think Missouri actually wins this outright, but I'll take the points just as insurance. Missouri's defense has the length and speed to really bother Alabama's passing attack, and their offensive tempo is going to test that Tide front for all 4 quarters here. This is, with the squad that they have on the field that they're putting out there in Columbia, this is Mizzou's best chance to beat Alabama. By the way, did you know that Mizzou has not left the friendly confines once this season? All their games have been at home. I love this spot before they go on a 2-week road trip.
That place is a construction site. There's nothing friendly about it. But other than that, we're going to go Texas A&M -7.5 over my Florida Gators at 105. Look, real Florida fans know last week was a fluke, and even Billy Napier tried to give that game away in the fourth quarter. A&M's at home. Billy Napier, 5-14 on the road. The best team that he beat on the road had a record of 5-7, and there were 3 others that were 2-7 or 2-10. Either way, he sucks on the road. He's 0-9 against ranked teams on the road as well. I don't see the Gators pulling through this weekend. DJ Lagway is banged up. Texas A&M will exploit that. They will get to him. He won't be able to make anything work with his legs. Jaden Ball is the only running back on the roster left that's not injured. Florida's defense is hampered with injuries. They're playing tight, but I just see A&M rolling in this one. I would take them to probably 10+ because the Gators are inept when it comes to road games.
All right, those are your 3 plays on Saturday. Mark, which is as surprised as all of you were that he was on camera at that moment so he could give you his play. So surprise. Yes, I think what it was is you were trying to use all of your different YouTube accounts to vote for you to be the winner. Is that true, Mark?
That is not true. I do not vote for split decision.
All right. Well, right now we have a tie. It's 50% to 50%. I'm looking at it,
which means
as we speak.
Robbie, you already voted, didn't you? No, you voted, didn't you? Robbie voted.
I can barely do this show and answer the chat, much less vote on anything.
Well, what I'll say is whoever is winning after we get done with our Sunday plays, that person is the true winner. And so we'll get to that here in a second. So I know we'll have more people stop in here, and they might not have even seen it, or they went back and rewound it real quick to go see who they wanted to vote for. Either way,
I'll text my mom real quick while we're going another break.
Somebody will get in here and vote. Somebody's going to vote before we're done. All right, so those are all your plays through Saturday so far.
Miss Tracy.
She's in North Carolina. She ain't watching today.
Yeah. All right, well, let's keep this thing rolling into Sunday because we are locked and loaded. I know I have 3 plays. It looks like Robbie has 3 plays as well on a Sunday. So let's go ahead and get to them. And Robbie, it looks like you're leading us off.
All right, let's do this. Look, Devontae Adams, 24+ longest reception. It's -115 at BetMGM. Look, when you look up consistency in the dictionary, there's a picture of Devontae Adams smiling and waving at you and his longest reception prop because all he does is cash it. He's cashed every game this season. He's 3rd overall in air yards with 573, trailing only Tyquan Thornton and Puka Nacua. He ranks 4th in targets, too, in the NFL. So he's seeing the passes a lot. Him and Puka are just – it's Shaq and Kobe of the wide receiver groups right now. Baltimore, don't know if you noticed, but they have checked out this season. No Lamar Jackson, no defense. Derrick Henry's probably wishing he was back in Tennessee. No, probably not, because they suck too. But Devontae Adams, 24-plus longest reception, -115. They were going to one where a guy who has had all the opportunities in the world, but he just hasn't cashed in on them. I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy, 40-plus receiving yards at -131. It's juicy, but you know what it is. Juice is worth the squeeze. Look, I miss Jameis Winston throwing this guy the ball. That was nothing but cash cows last year when it was him and Jameis. He's still the number one wide receiver in Cleveland. He's cleared 40-plus in 3 of his last 5 games, and he averages 70-plus in all 3 games against Pittsburgh. Last week was a bit of an outlier. He was going up against Isaiah Rodgers of the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm not sure if you know this, he's only allowed 48 total receiving yards to wide receivers this season. So he got his ass shut down. Pittsburgh, though, is not Isaiah Rodgers. They're letting wide receiver ones average 8.3 targets, 7 receptions, and 86.8 receiving yards this season. They play a ton of man and cover 3. Let's see. Garrett Wilson, 97 yards. JSN, 103 yards. Addison, 114. And Justin Jefferson, 126. If Jerry Jeudy can't get us 40, he needs to retire.
I guess I'm on. That's what that means. And I am looking. This is not a homer pick because the Chargers are playing Miami. I am taking Tua to get over 1.5 rushing yards at -130. I found this on FanDuel. And I say that because everywhere else, this line has moved up to 3.5. I also saw 2 at 5.5. I still like it at 3.5. So if you can get it at 3.5, hammer that. He has cleared this in all but 1 game this season. And against the Chargers, he's gone over. He's averaging 16 yards rushing against the Chargers. Why? Because they get him out of the pocket. Miami doesn't have any sort of offensive line. Tua's got to scramble for his life. That's why he's gone over in 4 of the 5 games this season. And then we are coming on at halftime for this game. But I am taking the Motor City to come roaring into KC and give me the Lions +2.5. This is strictly a model play. I am telling you that, full disclosure. Model has the Detroit Lions winning this game outright. I like the fact, I know Kansas City is starting to uptick and they got the momentum going their way. They don't have a rushing game. In fact, their rushing game really amounts to short and mid-range passes that they kind of use as a rush attack instead of a passing attack. That is going to hurt them against this Detroit Lions defense, who is absolutely a beast when it comes to eating up those short and midterm passing. I love this spot for Detroit, and I also think that they win outright, but give me the points.
I love the Lions. Great spot there from Mark. Let's go to T-Mac. Tetaroa McMillan. I have no idea if I nailed that, but we're going to go over his 23.5 and a longest reception of -118. I like McMillan because he's going up against the Cowboys. The Cowboys give up the most yards to the wide receiver. I think he dominates on Sunday. This will be a really good game because Carolina is very feisty. Because of that, I think the Cowboys can play well enough on offense to keep up with them. But within this game, the number 1 wide receiver on the field will be T-Mac. And so I expect him to take over. He's going to get a 23 or 24 plus yard catch at some point. His number's at 65.5 in his total yards. I think he's got a catch to get over that. I think he has to catch a 25, 28 yard reception at some point in the game. And so because of that, I'm going to take a better line here of over the 23.5 longest receptions. All right, back to Rob.
I really love that play. I'm actually going to go to another wide receiver, and I'm taking Jackson Smith and Jigba, 79 plus receiving yards. Got that at -114 at FanDuel. It's around 82 or 83 everywhere else, but they still had a low number this morning. He was going to be on Robbie's radar this week, but he's been on there like twice already, so I gave him a break. He is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. The Jags are coming off a high, beating the Chiefs on Monday night. But however, wide receiver ones are actually killing the Jags. They're averaging 94.6 receiving yards to the opposing wide receiver. Top guys like Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, and my guy, Tyquan Thornton, all went off on Jacksonville Jaguars. I love this spot for JSN. I think he gets 100 plus. Might not even a bad spot to ladder this one.
Man, when Robbie talks laddering, gets my juices flowing. I'm going to go do my kicker props here for a Sunday. I'm going Michael Badgley and Chad Ryland, both in the same game. It's the Arizona Cardinals and the Indianapolis Colts. This is a dome game. It's played indoors. We don't have to worry about the weather. Michael Badgley taking over for Spencer Schrader, who is now out for the season. He would have easily cashed last week if he did not get hurt, especially on the first kick, which is the extra point. But Michael Badgley is not a bad kicker at all. He was formerly with the Chargers for many, many years and now kicking here for the Colts. I like him to score because they hit 4 of the 5 weeks this year, has 2 or more field goals. But then if you go against Arizona, they've allowed out of 4 out of 5 weeks, 2 or more field goal attempts. I like that to happen. Same thing with Chad Ryland. Chad Ryland go up against the Colts. The Colts did not allow anything in the first 2 weeks. Like, they were just putting people out. But the last 3 weeks, they've allowed 2 or more field goals in every game. I think Arizona consistently is getting down the field and then stalling near the red zone. Because of that, I like Chad Ryland, who they really like there in Arizona, to cash 2 for us. But go ahead and get both of these in now, and we'll cash some kicker props again. All right, those are the 12-pack of plays to get you ready for the weekend. And then you had one from Robbie as a bonus play that you found in split decision. And so we're going to keep this thing rolling. Do not miss out. There's more than just 12 picks. One, Boom Boom's not even here. So Boom Boom's going to have plenty over the weekend at justicestatsports.com.
He has a ton now.
Yes. So go ahead, go over to justicestatsports.com, and you can check out everything that we have there and sign up your first month. Just as Robbie and Boom Boom went off the other day, and I don't know, Mark, what you did. I just heard from Robbie on Thursday. How many units did you clear? If you were doing your normal unit size like you're supposed to be doing and not getting crazy, how many units and what was your record on Thursday alone? Just you.
Went 10-0. Oh, it was on Wednesday, but I went 10-0 on all the plays. I hit every parlay, went up 28 units. The parlays helped, but 28 units total on Wednesday night.
There was only 3 of those parlays, so it's not like
Correct.
it was a ton of them.
And they weren't outlandish.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't outlandish. I think it was a 200, 400, and a 600 plus parlay. So it was a good night.
There we go. All right. And also he gave you the players to check out for and Rob Dar this week, even though he wasn't.
It's not what it's called.
We can call it DG Dar.
You can call that all you want to. It's not Rob Dar.
Gardar.
All right. Well, this is the point of the show. We have to look back and see what the record is. Oh my God, we're still 50 to 50%, guys, on split decision. I don't know what to do. Oh wait, I get a vote.
Joe's got to vote. I don't think Joe voted.
Joe didn't vote yet. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm looking.
Nonsense sent me a message and said I won.
Yeah, I don't even see nonsense in here. That's
not
nonsense, as I would say.
He is.
They're meeting this Sunday. He's probably bribing him with free drinks, so he just let him as a winner.
100%. All right, I am going to go with a winner. And Mark, this is going to shock you. Sit down. No, but for real, sit down. Oh, you are sitting. My bad. I'm going to go with Robbie. Robbie, you got 15 seconds. You are the winner again on split decision because your takes are much better. Marks aren't as good. And so, how do you feel about another win? This is 4 in a row, I believe.
I know it's getting harder to write these victory speeches every week. I try to prepare because I already know when I come into these that I'm going to win. So it's just hard to keep saying the same thing over and over again. He had a good showing this week. I thought it was much better than last week. And maybe next week you could pull it off.
I love you're condescending.
All right. Well, another win and split decision. Mark, as Joe says, robbed again. I don't believe it. But I had to vote. And so I'll always break the tie. I don't mind. You shouldn't put me in this spot, chat. That's on you, not me. So let's go ahead and
leave it to the judges. That's what they say in UFC.
Right. Never leave it to the judges. We do have a question, and I just need a clarification on it. What do we think about Michigan? And I believe he means UCLA, RJ. He may consider Michigan -2.5. If you have that line, brother, grab it, because everywhere I'm looking at right now is at -7.5 or 8.
I think Michigan's playing USC. I don't think I could be wrong. I thought it was USC.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at Michigan State. You're right.
Yeah. I was trying to look on JTS, see what we had on there. But, it's a million college football games. I don't even know what time that game comes on. Give us a few minutes. We'll have you an answer. At least kind of give you an idea.
Well, while we're doing that, let's bring this up.
There it is.
Joe says DG and Mark looks like they're competing for who is cutting the most weight in their sweatsuits. I just noticed that. I thought that was a compliment. Like, we're losing weight. One, I'm not. But I thought it was a compliment. Maybe my face is getting thinner. And then I said, oh, in the sweatsuits. And I looked at Mark. So I was like, oh, we are. We're on our sweatsuits.
My garbage bag is underneath us, so I can sweat it all out.
We're sweating for the wedding.
And to RJ's question, the -2.5. Yeah, the model has this projected to 3. So there's a lean to the under as well at 54.
Okay.
The over-under right now is at 57. The money line's only at -135. So if you just wanted to play a little bit safer, take the money line. But yeah, the model has Michigan covering the -2.5.
Okay. So go ahead and check that out now. That way you can go ahead and see if you want to target that Michigan game. I don't trust Michigan as far as I can throw them. And every time I've ever had to pick a side on them and another against the spread game, I swear I always lose. I pick the wrong thing. Whatever I think Michigan's going to do, they do the opposite every week. And so I can never pick that team. And so I do not trust Michigan just because I have no way to figure out what they're going to do that week. But I see that some people are putting in some questions or giving out their saloon shots. Taj earlier joined Quentin Johnson, Stephon Diggs, Xavier Worthy. I guess anytime touchdown, I believe, plus 1550. So that's his little saloon shot. So go ahead and get those in because they'll be coming up very shortly. But let's go ahead and get to what we always like to do here, and that is talk about our football games and what NFL games we're going to be looking at. Robbie, we'll start with you on this one. Is there a football game in the NFL or anything that you're looking to target, and why?
It's a pretty gross slate this weekend, if I'm honest. I'm kind of interested in the Jags and Seahawks game. I know the Jags on paper are 3-1, or however. I think they've only lost one game. I just think, man, Seattle just to me seems like a better team. I feel like it's smoke and mirrors a little bit with Jacksonville, but I do think there's some opportunity for props in that game. I also don't mind the Denver and the Jets game. I think there's a lot of Denver props that you can be on and probably cash as well.
Denver and that's over in Europe this week, right?
Yep.
It's in the morning. Yeah, it's the morning game. But
So
I'm talking Denver. I only like Denver props. I don't like any New York Jet props. But I think there's a lot of ways you could attack Denver in that game.
Well, another early game. We do not have that game a part of the NFL Overdrive, so you don't have to worry about that. Having a question there. We're not going to have a question on that one. But we do actually start off with that Seahawks and Jags game. That is the first question on the NFL Overdrive is which team do you like to win? And it's straight money line because this is pretty much a pick 'em game. So that'll be coming up here in just a few minutes. But Mark, what game are you looking at? Any side or anything you're looking to target?
Yeah, I'm looking at, it sounds crazy. Joe Flacco just joined the Bengals, right? They are taking on the Green Bay Packers in the late afternoon game, 4:25 Eastern time. They are 14.5-point underdogs. I think this is a great spot. T. Higgins, excuse me, his receiving yardage is at 41.5. You can ladder that all the way up. I would go as high as 70 at plus 290. So 40 is minus 130, 50s plus 130, 60s plus 198, 70s plus 290. I think the game script on this is very, very simple for Cincinnati. They don't have a whole lot of time for that connection to everybody get to know, what certain players are going to do at certain times on the field. Flacco is a good enough quarterback that he can still throw the ball. We saw that.
Right.
I think he certainly is a better option than Jake Browning.
Oh my God. Anybody.
Right. And I think that the game script alone allows this to really be one of those games with Jamar Chase getting all of Green Bay's attention. They're going to shut Chase down.
If he plays.
If he plays.
That's the issue.
And if if he doesn't play, I'd like Higgins even more.
Right. I think that's a great look, because if for some reason, and I believe Robbie Chase is questionable now and just showed up on the injury report because it looks like he has maybe a bug or an illness of some sort.
Yeah, it looks like he got sick overnight is what they're saying. He was in walkthroughs, but he didn't do the rest of practice. I mean, pump some B12 and some pre-workout in your ass and get out there. You get paid millions of dollars. You'll be fine.
How do you think that game plays out for?
Could you imagine one of Robbie's kids being, I'm sick, I don't feel like I can go to school. Here, pump some pre-workout, shut up and quit moaning.
Right.
100%.
How do you feel that Flacco does in his first game? Because this Packers team, Dak honestly, played well against them. They have a chance to get, into the backfield, which I believe that they're leading the league in sacks per game, I believe still.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, you're talking about a Packers team that could get after an older quarterback. How do you think Joe Flacco does? He's had less than a week to learn the playbook and get on the same page with his teammates.
I think he could have 3 months with the Bengals and it won't matter this week. Green Bay's coming off that tie and a bye, so they're going to be pissed off already because of how that shaped out. I do like I mentioned on Robbie's radar this week, I like Josh Jacobs. I think this is going to be a Josh Jacobs heavy game because Green Bay is going to keep them off the field and control the clock. So I don't think Flacco does a lot if he even makes it out of that game. I mean, he may get his head knocked off before that game's over.
Look, I think it's a great spot if you're going to target a player prop. All right. First of all, the game is going to be so damn lopsided. It just won't make sense. I say, you always hear how in the NFL, it doesn't matter how much they win by. They're just going for the win. They're not looking to, run up scores like they do in college.
Yeah.
This is not one of those games. Green Bay will be able to score at will against Cincinnati. Cincinnati is going to have to pass the ball. Flacco, he's older, doesn't have the mobility. He's going to be throwing a lot of short passes, which lends itself to not understanding and not having a full comprehension of the playbook, because these are going to be very safe, very low risk plays that they're running this week. And in all fairness, he's still a decent quarterback at his age, right? I mean, and you brought up Dak Prescott. Prescott lit him up for almost 320 yards through the air. So Green Bay's secondary is susceptible. I love this spot for Flacco. I don't think that they win. Look, nobody thinks that they're going to win.
Yeah, but 3 weeks ago, Green Bay faced Flacco and they held him to under 150. Now, if Jamar Chase is out, you're looking at a similar wide receiving core with, like, if you're comparing Jerry Jeudy and T. Higgins, two very similar guys.
Yeah, but
I just don't trust the weapons in Cincinnati.
Two different offensive lines. And that's where this is going to boil down. Cleveland could not stop Green Bay. Cincinnati's offensive line is at least going to be able to buy him time.
I don't know. Look at their quarterback.
Not much
He's
more
out
time
for a reason.
Well, yeah, he got turf toe.
Yeah, but look at all his other previous years. He hasn't had a great offensive line since he's been there, other than that AFC title run. Or did they go to the Super Bowl that year and they lost to LA? Is that correct? Am I wrong?
Probably.
Did they lose to LA in the Super Bowl? The Bengals?
I don't know.
I've slept since then. I just remember that one magical year they had. And it seems like he's been on his back since.
I don't remember, but yes, I think you're going the right area. I am not the person that's the smartest cookie here, so I'm not gonna to be the one who's validates that. Yes, you are speaking right, Miss Kim, which I knew it was coming eventually. I figured if I stalled long enough, she'd give me the answer. It's the 49ers. She said no, only the 49ers. But I thought, oh, it was Rams over Bengals. It was. Look at Joe coming in. I thought she was saying it was the 49ers. So Rams over Bengals. Look at that. Oh,
okay.
Look at you.
So
you are right. All right. Well, I'm gonna pass on mine because one, we're getting through this show and we're going. But I do see that we have one more question here from RJ, and I'm gonna give this one to you, Robbie. Would you rather take A&M at the -7.5 or Michigan on the money line?
A&M. Look, and it's not even because I don't. It's not because of the Florida thing. I just think A&M is way better, given Billy Napier's road record and the fact that it doesn't even matter if he wins these games. I think he's still fired at the end of the year because the best he can go is like 8-4. I just don't see it. Florida's depleted offensively and defensively. A&M's just a way better team. I would rather take A&M at home over the Michigan money line. I trust them more. Like DG said, I trust them more than I trust Michigan because I can never get Michigan right either.
I can't either. And so, yes, I'm the same way. It was so funny that we saw the way Florida took on Texas last week, and we were everybody was against the Florida Gators, and that line kept falling and falling. We're like, what is wrong? Like, it doesn't make sense. And then he just went out and just smoked them. And Arch Manning looks like Arch Manning, kind of like Bronny James, maybe.
Hey, I don't mean to rain on this, but the model has Florida covering the 7.5. Yeah. They have Texas A&M, right? Texas A&M winning, but Florida covering.
Well, I just don't see it. I think it's going to be close because I think Florida's defense is talented enough to keep it close. But I think DJ is going to make enough mistakes because he's hobbled up and he can't get out of the pocket.
That's the issue.
And I think A&M pulls away late.
All right, I agree because of DJ being a little bit. I think it was his calf injury is the issue for him, and so because of that, I do see there is a world where Florida plays well enough and he's healthy enough to look normal, but I just don't see it happening, especially against Texas A&M that can score really well. And so their best part of their game is their offense, and it's at A&M, which is always tough to play. So
yeah,
we'll see how that game rolls out, and then the NFL games that we discussed. We've gotten so much into these games and into the weeds. We still have so much to get into. Let's shoot or shot. All right, as we get to the saloon, I'm here. Robbie's here. Not Mark. That's who's not here. But I was the latest addition into the saloon, and it's been fun. I'm there along with Miss Nonsense, Tony, Preston, Robbie, and Joe. But Mark, we're waiting on you. Robbie?
Listen, I'm doing everything I can this weekend to get some of that mojo. I've already met Joe. I am meeting Nonsense and Mrs. Nonsense tomorrow for a little meet and greet. Photo ops, some beverages will be had.
Photo ops.
For me, I'm going to post this all over my. This is helping my social media platform grow.
All right. Well, I hope it goes well for your meet and greet with the Nonsense people. Let's go ahead and go to these saloon plays. And Robbie, we'll let you start off here. I know you're always worried what's going to pop up on the screen. And I name your actual play. What you got here today?
I'm just trying to see what you actually T-Mac had. It's better than whatever the hell you called it last week. Kitty cat or kitty cat.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Kitty cat.
Anyway, we're going to go to Tet McMillan plus 1,000. DG talked about him earlier. He likes his over 23.5 longest reception. I agree. I think he gets it on the first drive and scores a touchdown. Dallas has allowed 3 of the last 5 games a wide receiver to score first. Yeah, give me Tet McMillan plus 1,000. What is happening?
I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to go to my play next because I'm actually in.
I thought they were birds or something. It's him laughing.
It's him laughing this whole time. He's cackling hens over here. Can't help himself. All right, I'm going to go with mine here, and we're going abnormally long at plus 1,600. That's his nickname, and I had no idea that Jake Tongas was abnormally long, but that is the name that was given to him through 49ers Reddit boards or whatever it is, but it's plus 1,600. And I even verified with my only 49ers fan other than my father. And I said, does this sound right? He's like, yes. Everybody thinks she's got long arms, long legs. That's why they call him abnormally long. I was like, sure it is. But I'm going Jake Tonga's first touchdown here, and he's going to get in. The San Francisco 49ers love throwing to the tight end, especially early in the game. They've done it now 3 of the 5 times this season for their first touchdown. I expect him to do it again as we go into Tampa Bay. All right, Mark. Smooth steel.
Smooth steel train. Little nod to the jazz. John Coltrane. Beautiful jazz artist. Because Kenneth Gainesville nickname is Kenny G, another jazz artist. Nothing like a little smooth jazz to get us walking into the end zone. Just let that dance begin, because Kenny G is going to have me dancing in the saloon all night long.
I actually like all three of these. I have a $5 free bet at ESPN Bet. I think that's a good way to use that $5. I'm going to use all three of ours and put it in a parlay with that $5 bet.
All right, let us know before the show's over what actually is the odds on that one. If
Dude,
you get to it.
I'm catching so much shit.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with your voice. I don't know if you're turned to white sexual chocolate, but whatever was happened, it was not good.
Mark, there's a guy named Mark Henry. His name's Sexual Chocolate. He was in WWE. He called you white sexual chocolate. So you.
Oh, I thought he was talking about like Barry White.
No.
No.
Yep, but I had the same thing. What is happening with Mark? We don't know what it is. Yes, and it's funny. That's RJ saying, sorry, Mark. Majority of the people in this chat aren't over 55. Know who any of those people are.
John Coltrane, man. How do you not know who John Coltrane is?
I guess you got to be born in the 40s. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but we'll see. All right. Well, it's that time of the show. Oh, I had to ask you, because you did play Kenneth Gainwell. Where did you go to college at? Do you remember? No. University of Memphis. I watched.
Just always say Memphis, Mark. Just always say Memphis.
You should have said Memphis. That'd been an easy one. I think it was all 4 years he played here at Memphis. Phenomenal. I love Kenneth Gainwell. He was awesome. So when I saw that, I was like, all right, a little nod to Kenneth Gainwell, even though Jalen Warren is coming back, but Kenneth Gainwell has been their guy, especially down into the red zone.
Are they still holding tryouts for their cornerbacks?
I don't think they're even using cornerbacks. They're just trying to score a lot of points and then just hoping score as many points. Right. That's kind of been their motto.
Smart.
Yeah. But they're bowl eligible. I don't know if you know that. They're the first team in college football that's bowl eligible on the season. Actually, the only team that's bowl eligible. I know, a little sneaky fact.
Yeah, I got to hang a banner for that one.
They probably will, and that's okay. We'll hang it high, because that's the only banners they'll ever have there at the University of Memphis. All right, well, it is the time for NFL Overdrive, and so if you're wondering what we're about to do, we're gonna look through our plays, and I always go through and find 10 plays for this week that makes the most sense. And so I'm finding these, and I have to say, this is the hardest week. When I put these plays together, it's just hard. I don't try to go and pick certain ones because they're easier or harder. No, I just pick the narratives, such as the narrative street. That's what Robbie likes to do when he's playing some home runs, much like all of you. But scan the QR code if you need help.
He's talking to you, Robbie. He's talking to you,
Hockey 5123, I believe his Twitter handle is. But you're going to take us on head to head. If you tie with us, you lose. But if you can beat us, you win. That's what it all comes down to. You got to beat us outright. If you do that, you get $100 plus a 6-month membership.
If you can't figure out the QR code, just fill it out on a Microsoft Word document or in your phone notes, and just shoot me an email or a Twitter DM, and I'll make sure these guys get it in.
I don't know if we're struggling to get Robbie to figure out this QR code thing, but he'll figure it out eventually.
I wish everybody could see the bottom screen that has all of us. So when we come off camera, all the interactions, because Robbie for the last 2 minutes was like shaking his head, throwing his phone.
For a second, I thought I might be on camera. I'm like, please tell me I'm not on camera right now. I was just looking down trying to answer something.
All right. Well, let's get to this thing. As always, we're going to start off at the very top. And just as you are looking, if you're on the Google form, you can use this from today. I opened it early this morning, and it is open. You do have a tiebreaker question. And so that is if the chat, anybody in the chat or anybody that fills it out ties, other than me, Robbie, and Mark, if y'all tie and y'all beat us outright, whoever wins that tiebreaker will be there Sunday night. And unfortunately, I think I said this, but I probably forgot. I'm not going to be on Sunday Night Football this week. And so, Mark, I forgot that I'm literally traveling. I'm going to the beach very, very soon. So you're going to be holding it down, but I'll be next week Sunday night. I think I got them mixed up. So yes, I won't even be there. So hopefully it doesn't come to the tiebreaker watch live, but if it does, we'll be watching along with you. And I'll make sure I tune in if we lose week 1, just to eat crow all the way around. All right. I do not know who leads this off this week. Does anybody have an idea?
Just start with
You
Mark.
do.
He's on the far end.
All right. I'll start it off, and then we'll go me, then Robbie, then Mark. All right. Let's do this thing. We're going to go Seahawks or Jaguars here in an NFL Overdrive. I'm going to go with the Jaguars to win the game outright. Robbie.
Damn, I'm going Seattle. I think they're the better team and the more complete team. Jacksonville's still probably partying for Monday night.
Give me the Sea Chickens.
Oh, the Sea Chicken. I like this. Be on the opposite side of y'all. That only means I'm going to win. All right, Robbie, you're going to start this one off. Stephon Diggs, 59.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, I hate betting on this guy, but he's gone over 100 plus in his last 2 games. New Orleans averages 60 plus to wide receiver ones, so I'm going to say over.
Give me the over. He's coming off a huge game that he had against Buffalo. He's getting the looks. He's getting the targets. He had 10 targets against Buffalo. I love this spot for Drake May to start relying on him a lot more.
All right, I'm going to go over as well. I hate going with the trio here. We're all in the over, but he has played well the last 2 weeks. Maybe Drake May's finding him even more. All right, let's go to the Cowboys-Carolina game. We're going Rico Dowdle, 75.5 rush yards. Mark, you lead us off.
Give me the under on this one. He doesn't do it. Look, running backs for this season, for whatever reason, have a hard time getting over 70 yards rushing in a game. I love this spot to start targeting some running back unders.
All right, I'm going to go the opposite then. I'm going the over. This is all about narrative street. He has said he is going to shove it up there, and he's going to do whatever he can to get rolling. 76 yards is going to be easy work for Mr. Dowdle.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that revenge narrative. Josh Jacobs and Breece Hall both cleared 85 plus the last 2 weeks, and they weren't even that pissed off at the Cowboys. So I think Dowdle can easily get this.
All right, and TJ's asking, when does this have to be turned in? These had to be done and filled out before Sunday at kickoff, and that'll be the 1:00 p.m. start. So make sure you get it in. If you're after that, I promise you I am on here, and I have it timed up where it goes off at that time. So get it in before the first kickoff.
1 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. Go ahead and get it in. All right, let's go to this next one. I believe I am going next. I'm going to go Justin Herbert, 253.5 pass yards, and I'm going the under on this game. Justin Herbert, he sucks right now. The Chargers suck right now. Why would I go on an over
talking about?
Of 253.5? Worse than the Giants. Worse than the Saints. Worse than the Cowboys. Justin Herbert sucks right now. I'm going under.
This one was one of the more difficult ones for me. I'm going to go over for the simple fact he doesn't have an offensive line. He doesn't have a running back, and you can throw on Miami. They've only allowed quarterbacks to do this once, though, this season. That was in week 1. Josh Allen didn't have to do that, and the other quarterbacks they played, well, they're not very good. I'm going to take the over.
Right. They're not very good. And right now with San Diego, the Chargers not having a running game because,
Marion
Hampton.
That's your running
is
back,
injured.
Mark.
Right. No, I know who it is. They're going to rely on Herbert to throw the ball a lot. Miami, their secondary will get carved up. The Chargers' wide receiver core is far too strong. He clears this line easily. Give me the over.
Mark, does it worry you that Najee Harris is back this week?
No.
It doesn't worry you at all?
No.
Okay. Well,
He's
out for the
crazy.
Yeah, I know.
He's
He's back. He's back. So it doesn't worry me at all that he's back.
I was
It
like,
doesn't
what the hell
worry
are
me at all.
you talking
I know
about?
exactly what you're talking about. And no, I thought it was a stupid question to begin with. That's why it didn't bother me.
Oh, now I got
God,
Mark fired up this Friday.
I love it.
Ah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Let's bring it.
All right. Chargers, do they lose? Yep. Over
Nope.
on that one. All right. Let's go to the Browns
They
at
win by
the
7.
Browns at the Steelers. I don't know who starts this one. Is it?
I do. It's
All right,
me.
Robbie, you start this one. Browns at Steelers. The total is 37.5. Over or under?
Dude, I hate it being that low, and I'm probably going to hate myself. I'm taking the over because they've gone over in 4 of their last 5. I see a 21-17 type win, barely covering this over.
You're the only one that sees points in this thing. Give me the under. There's neither of these teams really outside. First of all, the Browns can't score. Pittsburgh is not going to do any more than they absolutely have to sneak out with a win. Give me the under.
All right, let me read you what Mr. Kevin Roth said about this game. We're looking at 10 miles per hour winds with a slim chance of a shower. That means that there could be rain, there could be wind, there could be so much happening because of that. I think that we're going to go the under here in this game, and under 37.5 is scary. I'm not watching the game. These two teams, they suck. I'm not watching them, so fine.
That's some next level overdrive work right there. The last damn thing I looked at was the weather on a Friday for football game.
Lockdown. All right, we'll start with Mark on this one. Hunakuna Matata, Puka Nakua, 99.5 receiving yards. Mark, is he going to get 100 receiving yards?
No, he
Wow.
won't. He won't. Look, the Rams, he's not going to have that many targets. He's going to have he'll have some, but he's not going to have enough to clear 100 yards. No, give me the under.
He didn't do it last week. He still had 10 catches. I think this week he goes for it and gets it back into the 100-yard column. I would hate myself. Just like Tom Brady, you don't bet against him. Puka Nakua, I'm not betting against this dude. Give me the over.
Yeah, I'm going with Puka Nakua too because Baltimore sucks.
Hakuna Matata.
All right, this one's only right for me. I'm starting this one. We're going to Michael Badgley. I already gave you this pick, but it's on the field goals. Over the 7.5 kicking points. Yes, I think that they can get 2 touchdowns here. So give me the Michael Badgley over the 7.5 kicking points.
Yeah, I think Indy just scores, and they score a lot, whether it's by field goals or touchdowns. I think he easily gets this.
Here's what you need to know. Indianapolis is averaging 8.6 kicker points this season. They're scoring a ton of touchdowns. And when they're not scoring touchdowns, they're close enough that they're kicking field goals. They've gone over 2 field goals in 80% of the games so far this season. This thing's going over.
All right. Well, TJ went ahead and picked him up in his fantasy league. There we go. Let's go with Michael Badgley. All right. We'll start this one off, Robbie. Ashton Genty, 95.5 rush plus receiving yards.
Yeah, I'm going over. This is actually a play on JusticeStatSports.com. The main reason, the Titans suck against running backs, and Ashton Genty has finally been able to stand in his Michael Myers, I'm going to kill you stance. So give me Ashton Genty over.
He better go over. He better go over.
I know I got money on it.
If he
doesn't, right, I should. But if he does, the Raiders, look, if they don't use this kid against the Titans to get him all the confidence he needs for the rest of the season, they're missing a absolutely glorious opportunity. They just absolutely better use him.
Phenomenal. It better go over. Ashton Genty. It better go over.
It better.
Because I'm going over. Because it better go over, as Mark says.
Why? Because I said so. That's why.
All right, let's go to the last 2 here. We already talked about Joe Flacco a lot, so we're going to start with Mark here. Joe Flacco, 209.5 passing yards.
Yeah, I like T. Higgins in this game. I don't like Joe Flacco. Give me the under. I think that Higgins becomes his number 1 if Jamar Chase is out. A sneaky number 2 if they do focus on taking on a feeling not so good Jamar Chase. Give me the under. He doesn't throw for this.
I'm going to go and trust Joe Flacco. I'm going over the 209.5. He's been throwing to the people in Cleveland. Cleveland isn't good. They don't have really good receivers. You made Mr. Harold Fannin look good. And Njoku is there. Judy, I don't know if he wants to play half the time. He made all of them look good enough. Now he's going to be playing with some good receivers. I think Joe Flacco goes for 210 yards.
He may be without his best wide receiver, and then you got T.H. Higgins, and he's not going to hit him either. It's no under. He's going to get killed. He's not making it.
Did you say T.H. Higgins?
Yeah, threw a Michael Jackson reference in there. T.H. Higgins.
Wow, this is off the rails for sure. This is I love doing this part of it. One, we get to take on the chat head to head, but two, just going through here and just giving out all jokes. All right, last one. Emeka Egbuka. I don't know if we want to say it like Rob Gronkowski, Emeka Egbuka or whatever he said, but we're going 73.5 receiving yards. He's been doing this and been going off like crazy. This is my hardest one. And I'll be very honest, I didn't know which way to go on this one. This is the one where I was like, man, which way? I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go over.
Yeah, it was really hard because he's the only wide receiver left standing in Tampa Bay as well. The Niners are beat up, but for some reason they're still in ball games. But like you said earlier, you don't bet against a guy like Egbuka the way he's been playing.
This was a horrible person to put into this thing for this week because for all those reasons, right, that you just mentioned. I think with the way that Tampa Bay's wide receiver core has been depleted, it actually allows the 49ers to focus on Mecca. I think he goes under.
All right. Well, looks like we're all split on a lot of these, which should be a fun day for sure. But go ahead and get in your questions or your answers in the NFL Overdrive. I saw JC1 found us over here at Weekday Wagers, and he even found the NFL Overdrive Google form. And so many of you have already learned how to scan the QR codes and learned that, yes, technology is our friend sometimes. And so,
you ever watch Terminator?
Okay, where did you go that far?
Wow.
We're not trying to all die today by scanning QR codes. We want them to scan the QR codes.
That's how it starts. That's how it starts.
Wow.
So, and with that,
death.
that's right.
Terminator.
Don't
day.
scan that QR code. You're going to die.
All right. Well, that's our show today. It has been a fun show for sure. It's our first Friday here on our forever home page of Weekday Wagers. But thank you all that have already come out and subscribed. You're also, when you're watching these videos, a lot of you are liking the videos, which only helps the algorithm and helps us find the algorithm of love. No, it helps your friends see what you're watching, and it helps us get seen by others. And so we're going to continue to keep putting out shorts. If you're seeing those, we appreciate everybody checking those out as well. But we're trying to put out our plays and shorts. We're trying to change up different things. So as always, if there's anything that you like and you think we should do because maybe you're knowledgeable about that, by all means, we're always open for fresh ideas, new ideas. So please reach out to any of us, as our Twitter handles are on the screen here.
And if there's anything that people want to see or, want us to discuss, want us to break down, please, absolutely hit us up, because we always, especially Monday through Thursday, I would give us something to talk about.
Yeah, and I agree. And then Kevin over here, I think he wrote his picks down, Robbie, and he's shown them to you if you could see them.
Can't see them. Just to take a picture and send it to me on Twitter. I'll hook you up. We'll get there together, brother.
JC1 suggests a dog of the day. That's interesting. That could be a fun way to end a show for sure. So I'm curious how that goes. Since we're here and we're way over time anyway, it's our show. Anybody got a dog over the weekend that you're looking at like, hey, I think this dog could hunt?
Detroit Lions. Absolutely, 100%.
You gave that.
They are an underdog, aren't they?
Yep. They're at plus 120 right now. I love Detroit Lions.
All right. That's your dog of the day, JC1. Look at that. All right. Maybe we'll try to implement that.
Ask and ye shall receive.
Maybe we'll try to implement that.
The New York Giants.
Shut up.
Shut up. That was a Mark joke for sure.
It was.
So stupid.
It was. He wanted to give it out. You know he did. I got it, though.
What a nerd.
All right, well, that's all we got. Thank you all for hanging out with us. It is always a good time here on our show, especially our Friday shows. Go a little bit longer. We have a lot more fun for sure. But check us out Monday through Friday right here at Weekday Wagers, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sunday nights, halftime. We go live at the start of halftime. I see people always in there like, hey, are they live yet? No, we are waiting till the game pretty much ends at half, and so we can then start our show. But we have to put a time that they make us do it. They make us put a time up, and we can't ever predict how long they're actually going to take to get to halftime. Because one time it was 15 minutes before, and there was like 30 seconds to go in the game. So it was crazy.
So, but you're not going to be on this Sunday, right?
I am not.
All right.
Oh, hell's going to break
This is
loose
not
on
good.
Sunday.
Stay tuned for the start time.
Oh
Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy.
All right,
Robbie,
well,
let's just fire up some. I'm going to order some meals for the show, in between.
it'll be a 2-hour show. It'll be a 2-hour live betting show. We're going to start at the end of the late afternoon games and go all the way through the first half,
Well,
all the way through halftime in
No.
the third quarter.
No.
Okay, maybe not.
I
Either
promise you, it'll be entertainment.
100%. And I'll be tuning in periodically depending on what's happening. But yes, I'll be down on vacation with the family, so it should be a good time. I'll try to stay away. But this whole next week, you got Mark in the saddle. Should be interesting, to say the least.
It'll be
All
fun.
Glad you mentioned that because I just totally forgot you're not going to be here Monday, so that would have been bad.
Yeah, I need you to check in on Monday, please, if you don't mind. If not, we're going
I'll
to
clear my
solo
schedule.
dojo.
Solo.
I'll clear my schedule. I got you, Mark.
All right, brother.
All right, we'll see everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you get these NFL Overdrive in by the start of the afternoon games, which is 1:00 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you all then. And thank you again for making us part of your day and subscribing to our channel.